Hello and welcome to the Elevator Pitch, hosted by yours truly, Sam Borders.
And Trace Maloney, the show where we create two movies and pitch them head to head against each other. Welcome to the Elevator Pitch. Before we start out the show, I'd like to explain the premise to you. For those of you who don't know,
I'm unfamiliar. I need help.
An elevator pitch is a short description or plot of a movie so it can be pitched to executives in a clear way. So what we got here...
So that's what this show is.
That's what this show's all about.
Oh, okay.
What we got
it was about
here...
selling elevators.
Yep. No, it's about us playing baseball with elevators instead of balls.
That seems
I pitch an elevator.
Anyway.
So for those of you who don't know how the podcast works, if this is your first time, first of all, welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you. Willkommen.
Sorry.
Thank you for joining. We have two wheels that help us randomly generate a movie. We have a genre wheel, which we spin twice to get the genre of our film. And then we have a movie star wheel filled with 50 actors and actresses, which we spin twice to get our stars for the film. After we get those, we make a movie with those premises, with
criteria.
With those criteria, thank you. And then we do that process all over again.
And then we pitch them head to head.
Right at the end.
No, let's not beat around the bush, and let's get right into this.
Yeah, let's get right into this, baby. All right, our first genre is a reboot.
A reboot? Okay.
A reboot. We're rebooting something.
Reboot.
What type of genre are we rebooting?
Yeah, let's see.
An adventure reboot.
Okay.
So we're rebooting an adventure movie.
Okay.
Let's find out our stars of this film, of this adventure reboot.
Yes. Who's our first one?
Uma Thurman.
Uma Thurman. Okay.
Her co-star is going to be... Seth Rogen.
Of course it is. We've got a nice setup. We've got, it's a reboot adventure movie. Uma Thurman, that works. And then here comes Seth Rogen running down the hall. He leaps into our movie.
I forget how he laughs. It's really weird though.
Okay. So now that we've got all that, what are some adventure movies that we could reboot?
The first one that came to mind, and I'm kind of glad we did get Seth Rogen, because if you notice, the trend in Hollywood is when you reboot it, you don't want to reboot the original feel.
Okay.
So they rebooted Ghostbusters and they made it a fall down fart comedy. They rebooted Jumanji, and it was more of a The Rock, Kevin Hart movie than it was a family adventure.
Yeah.
What's the first adventure movie that comes to mind when you think of adventure movies?
I don't know, honestly.
M.B. Amber Jones.
Oh, that's true.
Indiana Jones.
I was a little bit tainted by Jumanji because I kept thinking that when you asked me that. I was
the
like,
quintessential adventure movie.
It's
is
true.
Indiana Jones.
It is. So let's just do that.
Oh, do you not even want me to try to look up adventure movies?
I mean, why bother? Either Uma Thurman or Seth Rogen as Indiana Jones. Are you kidding me? How? I really like the idea of Seth Rogen being Indiana Jones because that's just not good casting.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. I wanted this is my thing. I wanted a bad choice to be Indiana Jones.
You want to kill this franchise.
I want people to hate this movie.
I want it to die.
So that was my thought. The moment we got Reboot and Adventure, I wanted to make a Ghostbusters, basically.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A movie that immediately no one likes because they know that it's not going to be the original.
Okay.
So let's think of a Seth Rogen, because basically Ghostbusters was just Bridesmaids but with ghosts. It had a lot of similar actors. Mm-hmm. It was written, I think, by the same guy, directed by the same guy. So what's a good Seth Rogen movie that we could transition to Indiana Jones, basically?
I honestly don't know.
You don't like Seth Rogen.
I'm not a big fan. I'll be honest.
You don't like him. You can be brutally honest.
I don't want to be mean to
like
Seth Rogen here.
You're not being mean. You can just not like someone's career.
I don't like the comedic stylings of Seth Rogen. I don't have any problems with Seth Rogen himself.
Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. And like more of his serious stuff, he's had some pretty good like producing roles. He did some pretty successful show on AMC, and then that new show on Amazon Prime called The Boys, about superheroes, but they're bad.
Does he produce that?
I think he was the producer.
I mean, he produced the Star Wars prequels. I don't know why I would just flat out lie like that, but
I was about to say.
I don't know why I would lie like that.
Here I was saying that Seth Rogen's a great producer.
Okay, let's get into this. Let's think.
Or do we just want to like take the essence of Seth Rogen movies and put them into Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones is now a pot-smoking
loser
layabout.
I don't know if we should. I think so. Here,
what's the problem?
I don't know if we should go that blatant.
Okay.
I think that there should definitely be pot in it.
I mean, yeah.
Because we have to kind of miss the idea of Indiana Jones, and we have to, because there are comedic aspects to Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
But it's by no means a comedy.
No.
Kind of similar to Ghostbusters. There are comedic aspects, and pretty much only like Bill Murray is the funny guy.
I mean, that's a comedy. You're not going to tell me that Ghostbusters isn't a comedy.
But it doesn't really.
It is a comedy.
There's nothing really
hilarious.
laugh out loud about it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're smoking.
Amusing.
Probably what Seth Green's giving you.
Sith Green.
Sith Green. Sith Green. Let's do Star Wars with Seth Green.
Seth Green. No, we can't. You can't just replace Seth Rogen with Seth Green.
Oh, I'm sorry. That was my bad. Can we get Seth Green in here too? How many Seths can we get
on our wheel? So, see, I was thinking that we could get James Franco. We could get James Franco as the Nazi.
Okay.
The one who, like, at the beginning, I forget which one he is. He touches the amulet and it burns his hand, and he runs out into the snow. Maybe he's. Oh, my dogs are barking.
Does
maybe
this
he's
idea
that
have
Nazi.
any legs to stand on? This one we're working with.
Does it?
No, but we should continue.
That's the point.
That's what we do here, ladies and gentlemen.
I want to make it miss the point of Indiana Jones. So how do we do that?
Then what's wrong with him being a pot-smoking layabout?
Because at least the Ghostbusters 2016 tried.
So we have to try at least a little. Okay.
We have to try at least a little.
So, okay. So
we should still hit it, because the Ghostbusters still kind of hit the plot points beat for beat. So we still kind of do beat for beat.
Okay, so Raiders of the Lost Ark, we're gonna do that beat for beat.
Pretty much. But we have to update it still.
Yeah. Is it modern? Because
That
that's
was
what
my
they did
thing.
in the other one, in Ghostbusters. Like, since you want to draw such a heavy comparison to our remake to their remake.
Well, because the first Ghostbusters was set in the modern day, so they set the original or the new Ghostbusters in the modern day.
So
like their modern was the 80s. Our modern is not the 80s.
So you're saying we should set it like in a retro time now, so it should be like in the 80s.
See, I was thinking the 80s. So it came out in
How the
80s.
hell? Okay, so he fights communists in the 80s, obviously. But,
like in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah, he fights. Like, yeah, it's just you replace Nazi Germany with the Soviet Union.
The Soviets, maybe like
that was new American enemy.
Yeah, for a couple of decades.
Yeah,
they had been around.
Bark.
Yeah, so the commies. Let's just say the 80s. I was thinking the 80s. You said it.
Let's do the 80s.
Now it feels right. So it's set in the 80s. Is he still an archaeologist?
I don't know. What do you think?
He's got to be.
I
right?
think so.
I just don't know if archaeology. Well, archaeology was never running into old temples and stealing artifacts.
No, it never was.
Well, maybe in the 30s it was.
I don't know. I wasn't an archaeologist in the 30s, so I don't know.
That's basically what they did to King Tut. They just stole everything. They were like, "This is a perfectly untouched grave.
It's basically
let's take everything."
Glorified.
It's glorified grave robbing.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, he's got to be an archaeologist. What is okay? It can't be the Ark of the Covenant. What is like another?
What's wrong with the Ark of the Covenant? Because
he already did the Ark. Can't do the Ark twice.
It was a reboot, not like a sequel.
It's not. It is, but Ghostbusters didn't in the new one.
True. Okay, fair
point. They didn't fight Zool.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's got to be a new thing. Like, what's a really famous artifact like the Ark?
The only thing is, it's like, isn't it so much easier if we just use Ark of the Covenant?
Yeah, it really is.
I'm trying to. Here's the thing. I'm trying to think like a lazy Hollywood executive.
That's true.
They're like, why aren't we just using the old script?
Why don't we just use the old script?
Why don't we just re-release the old movie?
It's pretty good. Like, we could just do that.
And then edit Seth Rogen into.
Well, you know, like how they're doing like those deep fakes where they can just like put one actor's face onto another actor.
We'll just do that for Indiana Jones. No, but in all seriousness, what is another artifact?
I'm trying to look one up. I looked up religious artifacts like the Ark of the Covenant.
Excellent.
Noah's Ark. He looks for Noah's Ark.
I think that's excellent. Let's do it.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Either that or he's like, because it literally was, except for Temple of Doom, which was literally go find a rock.
Yeah.
It was.
I do like the idea of him looking for a giant boat.
Yeah, it was either find a Catholic artifact or look for a rock for some Indians. Were they Indians? It was in India, right? Temple
I don't remember.
It was. I thought it was India. I can't remember. It's been a while. So either I'm looking at this list. So it can either be Noah's Ark or he's looking for an actual piece of the true cross.
I really think the Ark, because I think that we have the shot where he rappels down into a cave, and then we get the shot of this giant boat.
So in the original, he's looking for the Ark of the Covenant, and in the new one, he's looking for Noah's Ark.
Yeah, a different Ark.
That's close enough.
I think the funniest part about that is imagining somebody like some hack writer going like, Ark. Wait, There was another arc in the Bible.
Here's the thing. We can still call it Raiders of the Lost Ark. We can still call it Raiders of the Lost Ark.
And he's still looking for an ark.
What if we change it just enough? It's almost like we're making like a rip-off movie now. So we change it just enough where it's Raiders of Noah's Ark. So it's close.
No. I like the idea that it's the same title, but he's looking for a different thing.
He's looking for a different arc.
That
is pretty good.
Okay, so he's looking for Noah's Ark. Oh, God.
Who's Uma Thurman? Uma Thurman is, what's her name? Is it Mary?
I don't remember.
Why can't I remember any details about
anything.
The Indiana Jones?
Because I'm
movie?
Swept up in the action. I don't need to know people's names.
That's true.
I
except
just
for Indiana
Jones punch people and whips and stuff.
Oh, God. Let me look at whatever her name is. Marion. That's what it is. Marion. Okay. Marion. So Uma Thurman is Marion, his love interest.
Or do we want her to be the bad guy? Maybe she could be like, you know how there's that a guy who's like his rival.
Yeah, the French guy.
Yeah, maybe she's that. What do you think of that?
Well, it's funny because I was thinking like in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, it does change to the commies.
Oh, it does?
Yeah, because it's set in the 50s. Because he's older, and they had to have an excuse for him being older.
Yeah.
So he's fighting the communists. This is a different communist. But so the main villain in that one is Kate Blanchett. Is like a Russian.
Yeah. But no, I want it to be when we're rebooting. We got to remember that. So this character can be the same character from the other one that I was talking about, if we want that. It doesn't have to be.
So you're saying that she is his French rival, his French archaeology rival.
Yeah.
Who, when he crawls out of the temple at the beginning, she's like, hand it over.
She's like, you're such a slacker.
You're such a layup.
Look at you. You're such a schlub.
Well, you'd like to smoke weed, wouldn't you?
He's like, I definitely don't.
I don't smoke weed. I'm not a commie like you.
And then he like hides it behind his back. It's very funny.
Yeah, he had a blunt and he holds it behind his back.
Him walking out of an ancient temple with a blunt and an artifact.
She's got a roach.
Takes a drag.
Okay, James Franco is someone.
He should be the equivalent of the guy who played Gimli. He should be his friend, his contact in a place.
The Egyptian guy?
Yeah, but maybe he's not Egyptian.
No, he's not Egyptian because James Franco is an Egyptian.
Well, that didn't stop them.
Shut up. Shut up. I don't want that movie to be canceled. Where's another country that they could go instead of Egypt?
I do think it would be pretty funny if Noah's Ark was like not where you would think it would be.
Branson, Missouri. Or wait, is it Branson, Mississippi?
Branson, Missouri is I think what you're thinking of. I could be wrong. But something like that would be interesting.
It would be really funny.
Why is it in Miami?
Yeah. Well, I was trying to think of somewhere landlocked.
Where it makes no sense for a boat to be.
Well, I mean, the Earth was flooded. It would be funny if it were just on a mountain somewhere.
It's just perched perfectly on top of a mountain.
From Mount Kilimanjaro. No one knew where it was all this time.
Nobody noticed. He gets there. He's like, no one thought to look up there.
No one thought to look at the top of Kilimanjaro. What if there's an arc on all of like the most famous mountains? So there's one on Fuji, there's one on Kilimanjaro, there's one on Everest.
I don't think that makes any sense. Why would that be the case?
Because they're all fake. And then there's like a Knight Templar that stands at the bottom of each one and he goes, choose wisely.
Choose. And you're like, do you have like reference images that I can look at? I don't want to walk all the way there just to go, I don't think it's this one.
It doesn't look like... And then he goes, Noah was a carpenter. And then Uma Thurman grabs the wrong one and he goes, you have
grabs
chosen
the wrong arc.
poorly. And then she melts or fucking turns old. So we're throwing a little bit of...
None of that is happening in this movie.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to throw a little bit in of The Last Crusade.
So where is the ark? Do we want it on top of a mountain?
No,
because I like the image of him rappelling into a cave, and it's like maybe he like turns his flashlight around and you see this big boat.
It would be funny if it were like somewhere that like wouldn't
it
make... It
said like SS blowjob on the side.
Oh, that's good.
Like, whoa, that's funny.
And you see James Franco standing there with a thing of spray paint, and he's like, "Look at what I did, Indy."
What is this movie?
He finds it in... What if it's just like on the Falkland Islands?
Why?
I mean, I don't know. It's just got to be somewhere, you know?
We got to put it somewhere.
Okay, I'm just going to say... see, I like it being in, like... It would be really funny if it were in, like, the Siberian tundra.
That'd be pretty good.
Because they play... It's not really funny, but they play a lot of, like... They go to the desert and hot places a lot.
Yeah, they haven't been to cold places. That's a good point.
They haven't been to a cold place. And then it kind of puts them in enemy territory. You know, they're going against the Russians. So I just feel like that makes the most sense.
Let's go for it. In the middle of a tundra, there's a boat.
Yeah, in the middle of a tundra. Well, because the world was flooded, so you know.
Yeah, and it just landed down there.
I guess.
Get over Noah's Ark. So,
yeah.
Why do the Russians want it? Why would anybody want this big boat?
They want to reinforce Eastern Orthodoxy. Is that who the Russians were? Did they do Eastern?
I don't know. I think that's right. I don't.
Why would they want it? That's the thing.
That's a great question. Why would they want a big boat?
But here's a good reverse question. Why wouldn't they want the big boat, the famous big boat?
Gorbachev's like, I want that big boat, he says.
Here's why. Reagan was a very religious president. He pushed the morals and family values and religion.
He wants a big boat.
Reagan wants the big boat.
Okay, and then
Gorbachev,
the Russians are like, I want this big boat.
The Russians don't want to seem like pushovers.
Yeah, they don't want to give Reagan their big boat.
The USSR is about to collapse. They're on thin ice right now.
Yeah, they don't want to give up their big boat.
They know if they win, if they find that big boat,
that's game.
That's game point.
What's he gonna do?
Match point. USA went to the moon. Who cares? Who cares? We got a big boat.
Yeah, there we go.
USA's pumping a lot of money into the military. We got a big boat.
We got a big boat. Deal with it.
Got a big boat.
This might be the dumbest movie we've made.
We got a big boat that can hold 2 of every animal species on the earth.
That's right. I'm going to repeat it. This is the dumbest movie we may be ever made.
Isn't that by design?
I guess so. I mean, we did intentionally screw this up.
We kind of want to make it bad. That's the thing, is that Hollywood doesn't know how to reboot movie franchises anymore.
I mean, this does feel convincing to a certain extent.
To a certain extent, yeah. I mean,
I don't think the motives of Russia make much sense, but...
Well, I don't think that they would actually pick the Noah's Ark as the religious artifact that Indiana Jones is going for.
I don't know.
think I do know.
I don't know. That's pretty good.
I think it would be.
Let's not call him over this. So I'm just picturing Seth Rogen in his cool fedora.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be almost the exact same outfit.
Yeah, it's just this. It's just him wearing Indiana Jones clothes.
Yeah.
He's got the whip.
He's got the cool whip. He's got the look. He's got the feel.
Well,
he's got the James Franco right beside him.
Yeah, he's there.
And then, yeah, like you said, Gimli was his friend in the original. But he never
I wish
really...
I knew that actor's name. I feel bad just calling him Gimli.
Well, who cares? He never really did anything in that movie.
Yeah, here's what I think Indiana Jones needs. Kind of a wacky sidekick character. I think that's what Indiana Jones really needs.
Short round, dude.
Yeah. James Franco can be his short round.
Okay, so I like that a lot. And
the plot points are the same.
Yeah, it's pretty much the exact same. Okay. The most iconic scene of the first movie. The opening. How do we update it?
What with the boulder?
So I think that Jonah Hill is the tour guide who's like leading him through, who ends up like betraying him.
Yeah.
We got to get the usual suspects. It's like Adam Sandler has his posse.
Okay, we'll get Jonah Hill in here.
Jonah Hill is leading him through an ancient temple.
Yeah.
What is they? I want to say I feel like just a little golden idol, because they never.
I think the first thing should be like a shot-for-shot remake almost.
The first scene is almost exact, like it's
with the boulder and everything. I think it should be almost identical.
And like the very first part where he's like in silhouette and he whips someone. That too.
I don't know. I think the boulder would stay, because that's such an iconic thing.
So you're saying the opening temple scene is
it's like how they brought back the Millennium Falcon and stuff for The Force Awakens and stuff.
That's true, but that's more of a soft reboot. This is a proper reboot.
Points.
So that's how you're suggesting we get nostalgia points, is just doing a shot-for-shot recreation with Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen of the opening temple scene. Okay.
I mean, why not, right?
Has a little sand, pulls it out, puts it on the podium as he replaces the golden idol.
It's like, that wasn't so hard, and he takes a hit off his blunt.
No, that's not in the first one.
Aww.
I think there should just be weed references. He should never exactly smoke a joint.
Maybe at the end. Or maybe any instance where Indiana Jones smokes a cigar, it should be a blunt instead.
Does he ever smoke a cigar?
I don't know. He might.
If he does, then it's a joint. It's a fat doobster.
It's a fat doobie.
I mean, we just got it. I
think we got it. I think
when it comes to rebooting, it's hard to do much else.
I think we knocked it out of the park.
I think we did.
I think we did really good.
I think we're just getting really good at being shitty executives.
This is such a horrible movie. All right, let's move on to the next one then.
God forbid if we ever become Hollywood execs.
Well, here's what we can do. We can reverse engineer the show and do the opposite of everything we suggest, and we'll make a good movie.
We'll make good movies. Now, I just really want to say real quick, while we're still on the topic of Indiana Jones, they are officially making a fifth one. It's coming out in 2 years, buddy. Are you ready? And Steven Spielberg isn't directing it.
I hope Seth Rogen's in it.
Hey, you want to know something else? Old as fuck Harrison Ford is still going to be in it.
Why?
What are they going to do?
He's not going to care at all. He's going to just phone it in.
12 years after the fucking flop of a lifetime.
Why would they do this?
Okay, let's move on. This is not what we do. We don't
Just
talk
so
about
sad,
real
though.
movies, really.
My soul
Stop.
is broken.
We can't.
Okay, next movie.
Stop.
Spin a genre. If Seth Rogen is in it in any extent, I'll be happy.
That's true. I agree with you there. Okay.
Hold on, wait. Can Paul Rudd be the bad guy?
Like the Nazi?
The evil communist. I think
Well,
that'd
yeah.
be fun.
I mean, let's get Paul Rudd.
Yeah. I like him.
I do like Paul Rudd a lot. Anyway, let's move on from this.
Yeah, I just wanted to throw
movie.
that out there.
Um,
On a happy note. Let's
yeah,
spin a
okay.
genre.
Let's get this second movie going.
Yeah.
Our first genre is a spy movie.
Spies.
Spy.
Intrigue.
Okay.
Espionage.
Our second genre is a spy comedy.
Oh no. Oh no.
Let's get Mike Myers, baby.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. For this beautiful spy comedy, our first actor is
First actor.
Tom Hanks.
Okay.
All right. I think that's the first time we got Tom Hanks.
It is.
Okay, cool. Our second actor is Brad Pitt.
Okie dokie.
An interesting pair.
Okay.
All right.
Tom Hanks and Brad Pitt star in this
Spy comedy.
spy comedy.
All right. So,
Yeah.
are they both partner spies?
Or are they not partner spies?
Is one of them the
Is
enemy?
this like spy versus spy?
Make spy versus spy movie? No, this isn't an adaptation. We can't do that.
I guess that's true. But we can use it as inspiration.
It could be inspired by.
Like, it doesn't have to say that on the poster or anything.
Yeah. Make
But
spy
the
versus
concept of two spies
that are
doing things against each other. I don't think that's patented.
might be. No, I'm kidding.
It
Well,
could be.
I was thinking.
Okay,
Of course
what are you thinking?
Well, of course, you think of spies, you think of classic movies like Austin Powers, and that's it. No other spy movies.
Yes, that's the only spy movie that's ever existed.
Well, since that's a spoof of spy movies, it has all the tropes that we kind of need to hit.
And it's a comedy.
And it is a comedy.
Yeah.
It's a great. It would have been cool if we would have gotten 2 reboots. This thing, we get a spy reboot and a adventure reboot, and we make like an Austin Power. Anyway,
Let's not get distracted by that.
yeah, let's not get distracted.
What are we doing here?
That's what I was gonna say. So one of them could be the bad guy, the Dr. Evil. They could be spy partners. I kind of like your spy versus spy idea.
Yeah.
Maybe Tom Hanks is okay. Here's an idea.
Okay.
Well, no, it doesn't work because they're probably roughly the same age. I was going to say it would be funny if maybe Tom Hanks was playing Brad Pitt's dad and Brad Pitt was a spy and he accidentally got his dad roped into it. And now his dad's being drug along. I think Tom Hanks is probably about 10 years older, but it's still like 50 and 60, I think.
Yeah, it's almost exactly. I think he's 8 years older than Brad Pitt. So it's definitely not a father-son situation.
No.
What if it's like the comedy comes from that they're like jaded spies.
They're old spies in a new
They're not
spy
past their
gang.
prime. I don't think that's the story that I want to tell with this. But they're just like, almost like the comedy comes from the fact that the spy stuff is now mundane to them. So like,
It's like
another
so
day on
basic.
the job, and he's
They're
like,
treating it like a
causing
regular
a
9 to
coup,
5.
and-
Yeah, it's like it's like a 9 to 5 job for them.
yeah,
But
and
in
maybe
reality, they're like overthrowing Central
Yeah.
American governments.
yeah, they're causing a coup in like Guatemala or something.
Now, you say past their prime, and I think it would be funny if they were boomer spies. Like, because nowadays being a spy, I don't think is as on the ground as it used to be.
Yeah. Are you
It's
telling me
probably
that they're like rolling their eyes at millennial spies? Is that what you're telling me
Now,
right now?
can't
They're
you
like,
see that would be a...
millennials with their
Can't you
drones.
Yeah, can't you see that as being like a January movie? Like one of the shit drops?
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about that though.
It was just an idea. You said past their prime,
Maybe
and it
there
made
could
me
be
think
a
of that.
touch of that. There's a little
Just a
bit of that.
touch.
Like there is a younger spy guy.
And he's more into like the hacking and the technology, espionage. He's trolling Tay forums.
Yeah, exactly.
So I kind of like your idea where it's just become a rut for them.
Yeah, and maybe, I was about to suggest something that would make it not a spy movie. Maybe they like trying to branch out from their work, but I don't think that's a spy movie anymore. If they're like trying to get other jobs.
What if
Okay.
it's that flipped? They do work boring jobs, and they want to
Okay.
become spies.
I like where you're going with this.
And they don't understand the spy
They
stuff.
they own a burger joint together. And they're
Okay.
They're like, I need some excitement in my life. Kind of a midlife crisis type of thing.
Well, they're both
Yeah.
past their midlife.
Don't say that. I can't accept either of those people being past their mid. But still,
That's true.
like a realization that, you know, how
That
those
they're getting
sorts of things
older.
work. Yeah, and so that they decide to look for a career that is exhilarating. And maybe they get in over their head. Comedy ensues.
And that's the movie.
I mean, that is kind of the movie. I really do like that idea, though.
I'm going to look up if this title exists because it seems so obvious.
I'm curious.
If this movie isn't... Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like, this has to exist, but it's Spy Hard.
Yeah.
It's a Leslie Nielsen movie. That's
Yeah.
probably why I thought of it. It's because it was in the back of my head. That just seems so obvious.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So, I feel like a burger joint, like owning a restaurant, seems pretty exciting. I feel like it has to be something more monotonous, more mundane, more boring. I think just like an office job. Like they
That's
work
not-
in an office together. They share a cubicle.
I guess so. That just feels... I know it's like it's a point in its favor by saying that feels so boring.
Yeah.
But if
But
you
it fe-
owned a burger joint for like 30 years, I think you would get pretty bored of it too.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I haven't owned a burger
I just
joint
wanted
for 30
something more
years.
interesting where there could be more... If you think there's comedic value in the office job thing that isn't a little too overplayed, then yeah, I think that's a good option.
true. See, I think Okay, I do kind of like this idea now. You've kind of pushed it on me, and I like it. Maybe they're brothers.
Okay.
They're brothers, and they're going to be brother spies. That gives them kind of a reason to go into business together.
Spy brothers.
They're spy brothers. Maybe that's the title of the movie. Just something real bad.
Brother Spy. It's like Brother Bear, but they're
Brother
not
Spy.
at all.
It's like Brother Bear, but it's not. And that's like the tagline. That's the motto.
Yeah. That's a really good tagline.
Like Brother Bear, but it's not.
Okay, so the first part of the movie is okay. What are you gonna say?
So just kind of like lay the groundwork, and then I like where you're starting, like going into the first part of the movie.
Okay.
They own the business together. Tom Hanks is he runs the business side of it. Brad Pitt is the chef, the head chef.
Yeah, and kind of the face.
The face, yeah, because I mean, I hate to bash Tom Hanks, but Brad Pitt is still a bombshell, you know?
Yeah. No.
He's still a good-looking man.
Yeah, and I think Tom Hanks would do good with and he's more the, I don't know how to phrase it, controlled, more like mild, mellow.
And maybe Brad Pitt draws Tom Hanks into it. Like maybe Tom Hanks
so this is
like,
Brad
I don't
Pitt's
know, this
plan, kind of.
This feels a little
I
extreme.
think the scene is like they're like just like drinking one night, and like they're like maybe complaining about the burger joint. Maybe it's not doing as well as it used to. Not doing as well.
Yeah, then, it used to be real popular.
And then like for some reason, Brad Pitt has this insane idea.
What if we were
How would
spies?
he? What would be the? There has to be some sort of setup to them wanting to be.
What if they're smoking weed in this movie?
No.
This is where the weed happens. Brad Pitt's smoking a doob, a fat dubster.
I don't think so.
Ew, what if we were spies?
No. I think I answered my own question in my head just now. What if there is a fun... I don't want to do a full-on montage, but a sequence of them going and trying different things. Like they do like skydiving, and it goes
poorly. Sign up for pottery class.
Yeah, it's like... And they sign up for like one of those couples pottery thing, and they're really awkward, so they leave.
Recreate Ghost, that scene from Ghost.
Yeah, and they definitely not into that.
And he's like,
this is awkward.
And then they're sitting, and I get home from one of this small little montage, a sequence.
They come in, they slam the door, and they're both in wet scuba gear. And one of them has a big old chomp out of the butt of their pants.
He's got the white underwear with hearts on it.
Yeah, and it's very funny.
I totally forgot that this was a comedy.
I don't know why you forgot that. I've been trying to.
I don't know. I was more thinking of a spy flick.
And then they slump down in the chairs.
So then he flips on the TV,
and some
it's a
simulacrum of James Bond is on. Like Jimmy Bender or something. I don't know.
Jimmy Bender. Name's Bender. Jimmy Bender.
Jimmy Bender over.
Why would Jimmy do that?
You know.
Bames John.
Bames John. That's a little on the nose, I guess. But I guess
isn't that the point?
I guess so.
Yeah, like you said, some simulacrum. We don't. It doesn't have to. We don't have to figure that out right now.
Yeah.
They flip on the movie.
That on TV.
James Bond, air quotes, is on.
Yeah.
He's like, I love this movie when I was a kid. They're watching it.
That's Tom Hanks that says that.
Maybe they're both like reciting the lines. They've seen it 1,000 times. They're reciting the lines, and then Brad Pitt What if there's literally like maybe his wife comes in and flips on the light, and then a light bulb is above his head. It goes off. She clicks a lamp.
Yeah.
I have an idea. Honey, dinner's ready.
Honey, I'm home.
Honey, I'm home. And then he says, "What if we become spies?" It's like, I don't know. He had something good going on. He's like, that business has been in the toilet for years.
Well, you can't just up and leave it.
Let's be spies.
And then he says, no, I don't want to do it. And then like the next morning he calls him and he's like, okay. I don't know why, but maybe he just thinks about it.
Well, maybe Brad Pitt's like, fine, I'll do it without you then. I can't take this.
It's a little early for the break, but I think it's fine for it to happen now.
Well, it's not really a break. It was more of a just true. Like I can't stay in this rut anymore.
Yeah.
And he's like, and then there's like a couple of scenes where he thinks about it, where Tom Hanks thinks about it.
He's like running the restaurant without him for a couple of days.
It's like,
and it's like even more boring than ever because
they don't have
Brad
names.
Pitt was yeah.
What? Come up with names real quick.
Yeah, we should do that.
Do we want to be really on the nose Brad. And maybe that's good, but reverse.
That is convenient. Yeah, so Brad Pitt is Tom, and Tom Hanks is Brad. That's nice and confusing.
And their last name is Bond. I'm Tom Bond, and I'm Brad Bond.
It's not Bond.
But that would be funny.
I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
No, let's do like Chuck is Tom. And like what? Because Chuck feels like kind of not a dorky name, but just kind of like a bland kind of name.
Okay.
And
sorry, Chucks out there.
Sorry, all the Chucks out there. It's not boring. It's just kind of normal.
Okay. Yeah.
And then what's like a little bit more of an exciting name?
I don't know. You put a lot of pressure on me to come up with an exciting name.
Well, I'm doing that to myself as well. Chuck and Ian. I'm Ian. I'm his cooler brother, Ian.
I don't think that works.
I'm his cooler brother, Frank.
Nope.
I'm his cooler brother.
How about you switch them and it's Frank and Chuck?
Frank and Chuck. That's fine. Chuck and Frank. Frank and Chuck.
So Frank just is Tom Hanks and Chuck is Brad Pitt.
Yeah, I'm Chuck.
Yeah, I think that could be a...
See, yeah, now that you put it next to Frank, Chuck is a more exciting name.
Yeah.
Sorry, Frank.
Sorry, all the Franks out there.
Congratulations, Chuck. You've been bumped up.
Yeah, so Frank and Chuck.
Frank and Chuck, the Chuck brothers. His name's Chuck. It's like Mario. Mario,
and Luigi Mario. Do we need to worry about last names, really?
No, I was just goofing around. So yeah, he's like, man, it sucks that Chuck isn't here anymore. And it's even more boring.
Another short sequence.
Because it's Chuck's Bar and Grill. Like you said, he's kind of like the face of the restaurant. He's the pretty boy. He's more like
not the. And I know you said it earlier, but not the.
I'm not saying that Tom Hanks isn't a good-looking guy. I'm just saying that Brad Pitt is known as like a pretty boy.
Yeah, that's true.
Even now, when he's like 50-something, he still looks great. So he's like, and he, they've owned this business for like 20 years, and he was more like smooth and like a better talker, better in public.
So let's get into the spy part of this, because we need to do that before we run out of time. And
we've talked about the burger bar.
We've just made a burger comedy.
The burger comedy. So
he goes, and they meet
leaves.
up.
He's like, man, it sucks to be here without Frank, or without Chuck. And he's like, it sounds like maybe he goes back home after the end of that montage, and he turns on the TV, and that movie's playing again.
And that movie's on, and it's like, oh, it hits him, and then he calls him, and we see
change of heart.
Yeah, and we see Chuck in his truck.
Well, I was thinking maybe it would be funny if he's already like a top spy because he's so good at being being a smooth guy. So maybe he calls him and he's able to answer on like a little wrist phone, and he's in that.
Hey, what's up?
He's in that like signature thing where he's on a table held by restraints and the laser's coming up to like split him in two.
This has been like what, 3 days?
It's been like a couple of days and he's already a spy.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that.
And he's like,
it's like, hey, I've thought it over and I would like to be a spy. And he's like, I really don't know if it's the best line of work.
Can't talk right now, buddy.
I'm a little busy. I am a spy now.
I'm a spy.
You should come help me.
Yeah.
And then he comes and helps him.
He's like, get on the first plane to Italy or something. I don't know. Some beautiful landscape that would have like a great villain lair on like a mountainside or something.
Yeah, okay, so then the story is Tom Hanks' character Frank has to save his spy brother.
Okay, that's the story. So he doesn't say go to Italy. He says go wherever like because it's not like working with the
I think it should have been more than a few days then. Maybe like a month later. It's still funny that he's already this like deep into
he's already this James Bond spy. So he says he calls him, he's in the thing, he says go to wherever. That's where they're because in James Bond it's MI6, isn't it? Which is a real organization.
That sounds right.
I think so. Let's say it's like a thing like that, where being a spy isn't as like it is in the real world, where it's like they go and they have cool gadgets, and he's like, oh, I gotta go. Here's a car that drives underwater as well as on land.
Yeah.
So he's like, go there. Tell them that I sent you. They'll help you find me. And he goes, and then, like you said, that's the movie. It's following him becoming a spy.
Yeah, and learning along the way.
And he's bad at it, but he fails in hilarious.
At first,
he fails in hilarious ways to win.
Yeah.
So there's like a scene where he's like, he doesn't know how to use his spy watch, and it has like a laser on it or something. And he's like pressing buttons that do different things. So like he turns,
and it's like at the fancy cocktail party, and it like blows up a glass or something.
He like turns it on, and you hear the car start from outside.
Oh yeah, you hear the car alarm.
So he goes, he gets his gadgets. They send him to a casino. Every spy movie has to have a casino in it.
Of course.
Like you said, like the cocktail party, whatever, similar enough. So he's there. He has to meet like a lady spy, a double agent. And like, you have to seduce her, and he's like, I have a wife and kids. And he's
very awkward.
And he's very bad at seduction. He's new to this. Well, he's not new.
Yes.
He's just been out of the seduction game too long. He's been off the market, so he doesn't know how to seduce. And yeah, she like works with the bad guy, who's probably like, I don't know, Rob Schneider or something.
Yeah, let's get him in here.
Rob Schneider's the main villain. I feel like he could be over the top enough.
He's got an eye patch and a cigar.
And a scar on the other eye.
Over the working eye.
Yeah, so he's got an eye patch, a scar.
Which is nice and confusing.
A cigar. He's bald. He's got a cat with him always.
No. We're not going that far.
He's got those metal teeth like in the James Bond movie. What if he's just an amalgamation of all the James Bond villains?
No, because then that's parody and not comedy.
That's true. But yeah, he
should have an eye patch.
He definitely has an eye patch
and smoke a cigar
and
wear a nice suit.
Yeah, he's got a beautiful white suit. So she worked for Rob Schneider, whose name is like Anton.
Yeah, that's Anton, a good name. Yeah. Wow, that was quick.
And
what we find out is that he ran a competitor burger chain, and that this is all personal. And they ran him out of business.
No, he wanted to.
20 years ago.
No, the same thing happened. He wanted a more exciting life.
So he became a
supervillain.
Yeah, so he like...
He's been in the game for a month as well.
A criminal cartel.
Okay, so after the casino, what is it? Maybe there's like a cool chase.
Yeah, car chase,
action scene, and that's like another part where he's like fumbling to use gadgets and he doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah. This is amazing.
It somehow ends up in a kitchen. Even though Tom Hanks wasn't the cook, he still knows his way around a kitchen because he ran a restaurant.
Yeah, so he can use that knowledge.
And that's where he kind of becomes more like a spy. He's like, it's just like cooking.
I think, here's another thing. So we mentioned that they did skydiving, and we mentioned that they did scuba diving. I think both of those things should come back.
Pottery as well.
So now he has some experience with that because he already did it once.
Maybe he has to use pottery to make a key to get Brad Pitt out of a cell.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know about that, but I don't know when pottery will come back.
I do like that idea, though. Whatever their little montage is, their little sequence, all of those hobbies that they tried to pick up are now in it.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I remember this.
I know how to do this."
They took a programming class to make their life more exciting.
Yeah, because that's really exciting. Programming is really exciting.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not dissing it.
I just don't think it's the most exciting thing next to skydiving.
I mean, if I were to like go for adrenaline junkie thrills, I don't think programming is the place to go.
It's probably a good skill to have.
Oh yeah.
So,
and with our sponsors, Skillshare.
Skillshare. I wish.
That's a lie.
What if we say it and then they're like, I guess we are their sponsor.
I guess we have to give them money now.
That'd be nice. So that's how he helps break him out. Then at this point, like you said, he's not bad the whole time. So he's stumbled his way into becoming a good spy by saying, "This is just like working in a kitchen. This is just like skydiving. This is just like scuba diving." And he gets there. And then he's in Anton's lair. And he's sneaking around, and he's
his underwater.
Yeah, there's the underwater bit. He's got like sharks, maybe not sharks with laser beams attached to their freaking heads.
Freaking laser beams.
But he's got like a shark thing, and he's like scuba diving, and he remembers they're like, "Don't worry, sharks don't typically attack." And he's like, "Oh, okay, don't worry about this." And he comes up into the lair, and it's like a cool villain lair. Maybe got like a lava piece somewhere, like flowing lava.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Gotta have lava. And then Anton, of course, when they're at the end of the fight, he has to say, "You and I, Frank."
We could take the city together.
Come on, this life's just as exciting, he says.
I mean, it's not wrong. But yeah, I mean, I don't really think that the ending scene isn't as intense as everything else was. It's more of like there's the villain speech. Maybe he got captured. They're captured together now. Maybe they are like tied back to back in chairs.
Yeah, and then the dramatic escape. And then do they decide to not be spies anymore and go back to their burger shack? They're like, that was fun.
That was fun. Maybe
they do both.
Wait, no. After they're done being spies, it's almost like exactly how they came back from scuba diving, where they come in and they sit down and they're like, that was kind of... I don't know if we should do that.
So you have to assume that all the things they did during that montage were just as long and crazy. They're like, I really don't know about that one.
Maybe not spies. That was a little too intense. And then they look at each other. What about programming? And then end credits.
They're like astronauts.
What if we went to space?
And then the next
and we're set up for sequels.
Frank and Chuck in space.
We set up for sequels where they can do more exciting things.
I don't know if I like that ending. I think I like the idea of them going back home and they do both jobs now. And so they have a spy layer underneath their burger shack.
They're spy chefs.
Yes, spy.
They're spy entrepreneurs. I like that, yeah. What's the title for this movie? Brothers Who Are Spies.
Burger Brothers.
Burger Brother Spies.
Yeah, let's just say words that are related to the
Spy
movie.
Burger Brothers.
Spy Burger Italy Brothers.
Rob Schneider villain.
That should be the back of the box blurb.
Rob Schneider villain. Burger Brother Italy
Burgers.
Spies.
Burger Spy Brothers Tom Hanks.
Rob Schneider villain.
Check.
Rotten Tomatoes. It's like quotes from reviewers.
That's how they talk about the movie. Let's see. Name for this movie.
I kind of want to look up words that rhyme with spy and see if we can do a spoof of a name of a previous, like of a well-known phrase. Like Spy Hard, like I said.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do that.
Let me get Rhyme Zone open so I can look at spies. Cry, guy, fly, deny, die, but with a Y. What if we did Thigh High Spy Guy? Has nothing to do with the movie, but at least it rhymes.
Thigh High Spy Guy? Why?
Exactly. That's it.
And it says that on
Why?
the end. The title is Thigh Guy Spy Guy. Why?
Black tie spy guys.
What about Why Spy?
Why spy? That's
Spy
good. Why spy? It's like a question. Why, comma, spy? Why spy?
And then we tell them why.
Why spy?
Why Spy?
Why spy with my little eye?
Yeah, and it's a play on that too. It's the best title ever.
I like Why Spy.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go with that. And now we're going to pitch them head to head.
Yep.
Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Other Lost Ark. In this reboot of a timeless classic, Seth Rogen portrays the titular Indiana Jones. This archaeologist of a new era races against the Soviets and his dangerous rival Belloc, Uma Thurman, to find Noah's Ark. This globe-trotting adventure brings our heroes behind the Iron Curtain into the heart of Siberia. Will he score the find of a lifetime for his country, or will he meet a grisly end?
That movie is the worst fucking movie I've ever heard.
Yeah, that's pretty rough.
But here's the thing. That's what I wanted.
That is what you wanted. You did really want to do that.
It's just like the moment I wanted... The moment that we got adventure after we spun reboot, I just immediately... Indiana Jones popped into my head. And I
wanted to ruin Indiana Jones.
I wanted to ruin Indiana Jones.
All right, hit us with the other one.
Okay. Why Spy? Tom Hanks and Brad Pitt star as Frank and Chuck, two brothers that run a burger joint. After 20 years in the restaurant business, they realize they aren't getting any younger. They want excitement, and boy do they get it. After Chuck leaves the family business to pursue his childhood dream of being a spy, he is captured by the evil Anton, Rob Schneider. He calls on Frank to rescue him, but being a spy definitely has a learning curve.
Well, there we go.
I don't know if that one's stupid or great.
It's hard to tell.
It
depends on the execution.
Is it stupid in the way that it's a comedy, so it's kind of like yuck, like, or is it just bad?
Or is it just dumb? I don't know.
Well, that's the 2 movies we made.
Well, here's the thing.
Yeah.
We're gonna decide which one's more likely to get made.
Do we need to?
I think that there is a little bit of a discussion to be had.
Okay.
You did mention that they are making another Indiana Jones movie.
Oh, fuck. I already forgot about that.
But would they make this one?
Well, here's the thing. Maybe tweak it some. And maybe wait another 10 to 15 years. I'd say they definitely would.
Yeah.
I'd say they definitely would. But
here's the thing. I think you could make Why Spy
right now. You could make that movie right now.
I don't care what excuses I have to make up for Why Spy to win. In our book.
I don't think there's any excuses. I think Why Spy is actually, like, when I genuinely think about all of the movies we made, I think it is probably one of the closest to being a real movie.
It's one of the most coherent movies, yeah.
It's up there with Above Snakes.
Yeah, I'd say so.
It's really, like, it's one of the best premises we've come up with.
I mean, if that mispronunciation doesn't show the bar we're working at, then, I mean, you didn't listen to the hour.
That's true.
Oh, that's our decision.
Yeah.
And that's been the elevator pitch.
It's definitely got to be Why Spy. Yeah. Like Sam said, that's the elevator pitch. Thank you all for listening. Of course, you know, we're going to leave it up to you at home. It's not really our choice. It's your choice. This is a democracy. You can go check out the posters that we made on our social media. You can find us on social media at TEP_pod. It's Instagram and Twitter only right now. We post the posters and stuff like that. We have a lot of fun making them. We think they're really funny. Go check them out. If you're on any platform that you listen to podcasts that has a reviewing or a rating program, give us a review. Give us a like. Tell us how we're doing. We'd love to hear from you. And we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye.